So how have I actually seen video projects hurt a business? As a filmmaker, we always want to talk about the service we're providing in a good light, but I think it's important to also talk about moments when video just doesn't make sense for a business. So I've identified 3 main reasons that I've seen either in personal experience or just in my own life as a human taking in video content, and I'd like to share those with you. So the first reason that I've personally seen video projects hurt a business is when the business wants to take on a video project simply because they think it's a cool idea, but they have no idea how they're going to implement the video, or maybe even what the actual overall goal of that video is going to be. A common cause for this is just in this visually saturated world, we're constantly bombarded with awesome content. And so it's easy for a business owner or someone on a marketing team to see this really cool and inspiring video, potentially even within their own industry, and want to create it for their own business too. But the problem in just taking on a video project because you want to make something that looks cool is that you don't have any strategy behind it, and you don't have any idea of how you will implement it. So what ends up happening is you hire a filmmaker, and sometimes that filmmaker won't take you through a strategy session before developing the project. And if that strategy session is overlooked, then ultimately you wind up with a video that hopefully at least looks cool. But what I've seen happen here at this stage is a vicious cycle of revisions. And that generally is because there are no clear metrics or goals to really critique the video on. Meaning, like, we don't know if this is to drive sales or to increase brand awareness. We don't know if it's to be used as a digital ad on social media, or if we just want it as a website banner on the company's website. And so people can take on all of these different lenses and different viewpoints and perspectives around the video content and critique it in radically different ways. And so what ends up happening is this vicious cycle of revisions goes on and on and on. People lose stoke over the project, and a lot of times projects like this will just come to a screeching halt, especially if it's taken on internally, which, full disclosure, my specific experience with this was on an internal team, and I think that's how we really got into the situation in the first place. Is, the rest of the team came to me and said, "Tom, make us this cool video," and I said, "Sure." I like making videos, and I learned a lot from that experience. And I also will say too, that is why I always do strategy sessions at the beginning of every project, and that is why I always vet the actual problem that the client is trying to solve and talk about, the different stages of the production process and the marketing process to make sure that this stuff will actually be effective for them at the end of the day. So the second reason why video projects can hurt a business is when the client wants to take on a video project. They know their method for implementation, but the problem is the way in which they want to implement it, say it's through social media, isn't a viable means of implementation for them yet. And so in the case of social media, they might want to use this as an organic post to drive sales to their organic audience, but they only have 150 followers on social media. And so is this video going to get those 150 people to convert? Likely not. So that's one thing to look out for, and it can look like a lot of different things. It could be a video that wants to be leveraged in an email campaign, but the email list hasn't been warmed, or the email list only has 50 subscribers to it, and they've never run a campaign to it. It could be that the video lives on the company's website and they plan to point to it on social media to try to drive traffic to the video on their website, get more people on the site, and hopefully make a sale that way. But what if the company's mobile UX is total garbage? And by driving people from social media, they're basically guaranteeing that everyone's going to watch this video through the mobile UX and just increase the chances of customers having a horrible first impression with their business. So those are just a few quick examples that I thought of, but there are really a lot of things in this implementation category that need to be sorted out and strategized in order for a successful launch of a video project or a video campaign. So the final example that I found is that the client wants to take on a video and they have a great vision for the video. They have a great strategy on implementation. Everything is super sound, but they don't have the budget to produce the video that they're hoping to make. But they go ahead with it anyways. I'm going to pause and say that in my business, I'm only comfortable with stripping away so much from production before I just have to tell the client that the budget isn't going to work and that the quality is going to suffer. And sometimes it's okay to walk away from a project, because what happens is if a business proceeds with these low budget projects that have these really high goals for implementation and conversion, ultimately they end up distributing a subpar product to a large audience. And that's one of the worst things that you could do. It's so much better to save that money, wait until you have the right budget, and then produce the actual video that you dreamed of in the beginning of the production process. Because when people see a video that has, poor lighting conditions, poor audio, there are no jump cuts between camera angles, whatever it might be, it creates a really bad first impression, and the quality of the video that your business puts out is a direct representation to potential customers of the quality of the rest of your work. And if you put out a really bad video, then people are going to assume that the actual products that you put out aren't that great either. And so that's another way in which video projects can actually hurt a business. So those are things that I've identified, and those are things that I look out for with every project that I'm taking on, because ultimately this is going to really hurt businesses. And not only that, it's going to hurt my reputation, and it's also going to hurt my body of work. And as I proceed in this journey as a filmmaker, I'm only ever trying to level up my game. And as I proceed in this journey as a partner with clients, I'm only trying to level up their game too. And if we can't work together to create something that's powerful, something that's beautiful, and something that's effective, then what's the point of all this? I'm not here to hustle people for money, take their change and run. This is all about building relationships and improving our skills, and hopefully everyone prospering together. So if you know anyone that's looking to prosper and partner with a filmmaker, please share this video with them. You can also point them to my website, nordcreative.com, to learn more about the rest of the services that I offer. But thank you so much for making it to this part of the video. I love you all. Peace.